Where's the thingy?
There you go. Come on.
Get it together, man. Oh, man, that Superman trailer looking good.
Oh man, wow.
Looks good.
What a flawless film.
Oh, look at that.
That looks like a masterpiece.
blueprint.
I like the color grading.
The suit looks great. It actually fits him.
Christopher Nolan. Wow, we were just talking about him.
Yeah. He wrote this? He came up with the story?
Fly, son. It's time. You are not alone. You are not alone.
I'm hyped.
I'm hyped.
Let's go.
I'm hyped.
That's
Obviously-
an epic trailer. Epic.
Obviously, guys, that was not the Superman trailer, as Phil, a staunch supporter of Zack Snyder, said he absolutely will not play that trailer on the stream, so it is not happening.
They are still going to come after us for copyright. I'm telling you, for the music, they are going to strike us down.
Yeah, I know. We can hit for that one for sure.
I didn't see anything.
All right. So I wrote out a whole sheet of stuff here.
Oh God.
It's just kind of what I do.
That's why we love you, Raj.
Oh boy.
So I'm going to talk about this. I want to kick this started right off the back. So obviously, if you've seen the trailer, you know that there is heavy comparisons to Man of Steel because of what the scenes represent. Now, the problem that I have is, why is everybody acting like this is brand new when Zack Snyder already done it?
Or why are people who previously attacked this stuff defending it now?
We are definitely going to get into that. Now, I saw somebody in the chat, and I don't know if they are still here, but they are gun fans. They left. I think it was RJ, Resident Justice.
Oh yeah,
RJ. I think he was here. RJ, if you're still here, if you're in the chat, at least put your input in the chat. But see, what I want to know is this. If gun fans are listening, this is what I want to know. How can you watch that trailer and then watch Cavill's Superman trailer or Man of Steel trailer and not see the similarities in those two things? Okay. Now, keep in mind that James Gunn on more than one occasion already came out, and there's a video to prove it. Matter of fact, I'm going to have my boy cue it up right now. Cue that video up for me. We have a video of your favorite director, James Gunn, saying that he is he is inspired by Zack Snyder. So I guess what I'm trying to figure out is if Gunn is making a trailer and shooting a trailer with all of those elements of Man of Steel, then why do you have a problem with Man of Steel? That's what I would like to know. I would like for someone intelligent enough and honest enough. There's that word, honesty. Because you saw the same trailer I did. I'm pretty sure at some point you saw Man of Steel. And I'm sure if you rub your brain cells together, you can figure out there are elements in that trailer that are exactly like Man of Steel. For instance, let me go ahead and pull my list up because I wrote everything down.
I'm loving this.
All right.
Charles is going
one,
tonight.
So I got
Charles, hold on. I'm having some tech issues, so keep cooking while I do that. Okay, hold on.
Okay, all right. So I got 5 major scenes that I wanted to pull apart. So Superman crashes into the icy snow. So this is when he flew down and boom, and he looked all messed up and he's bleeding from the mouth and all that other good stuff.
And wheezing. Okay.
And wheezing, yes. So we got us a scene similar to that during First Flight in Man of Steel. Did we not? Yep. Can somebody sound off in the chat and correct me? So I'm going to go through this step by step and just tell me. Just take the rose-colored glasses off for a second. Open your eyes and open your ears and just tell me that I'm wrong. Okay, so we got an icy, snowy scene just like that when he crashed into the snow, right? Man of Steel. Good. Okay, good. Just making sure. All right. Also, in that same scene, Superman was bleeding. David Cornsett was bleeding. Kind of like the same position. Again, in Man of Steel, when Cavill Superman was in Zod's ship, in the Black Zero ship, what happened? He started trying to adapt to that environment. He fell over. He's bleeding from the mouth. Boom. Okay, so those scenes were similar. All right, moving on. The slow-mo scene, saving the little girl. This was one of the scenes where they say certain YouTubers, I'm not going to call their names out, but I am going to, if y'all watching, I'm going to say this. You said that Superman in Man of Steel wasn't boots on the ground. When I can think of several scenes where he was boots on the ground saving people. He might have not saved the little girl that you saw, but he was saving people. Okay, just 3 off the top of my head. Again, Colonel Hardy from Feora when she was going to gut him. You know he was about to die. Saved from her. Yep. Saved the soldier that fell from the helicopter. Asked him if he was okay. And then he also saved the A-10 pilot when Feora was jumping out at him, and Superman came in and knocked it. And he was like, the pilot was like, oh shit. But then he knocked her out of the way. And okay, so those are just three things where he was actually saving people.
A bunch more. Literally the beginning of the movie on the oil rig.
Yep.
There's the oil rig scene where he saved a bunch of people. In Batman versus Superman, same thing. He saved the astronauts from the exploding rocket.
Montage scene.
Me and Charles were talking about that.
We were just talking about that.
There's literally a montage of him saving people.
Of him actually saving people. Now, again, my glasses are clear. My eyes are fine as long as I wear these. Y'all saw what I saw in BVS. So again, tell me what the problem is. Y'all are saying that Superman isn't saving people, but he was. So why is it that suddenly just blinded your eyes when you saw this trailer?
Let's bring it right back to Man of Steel, where the biggest save that he did, and I know the fandom, well, DC, certain section of DC fans want to criticize what he did, but the biggest save he did in that movie was when he saved that entire family from getting blown the fuck away by Zod.
Of the film. At the end of the film. And then you come up with excuses as to why he could have saved or he could have gotten Zod out of the way or
how would they hold him? There was no kryptonite.
There was no kryptonite. There was no red sun room. There was nothing to contain Zod, and Zod was just as powerful as Superman.
And Zod made it absolutely clear. He made it absolutely clear to Superman that he would not stop until every last human on Earth was eradicated.
Either you die or I do.
That was his mission at that point.
So tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me how you can see a movie like that. Okay, and I want you to take your Zack Snyder blinder glasses off for a second and tell me that if James Gunn made a scene just like that using Henry Cavill and he made Man of Steel, would you love it or would you hate it?
I think they would
because
love it.
We're gonna get to the reasons why you hate Zack Snyder or the reasons why you, at least in your psychosis, think you hate Zack Snyder. I'm going to put it that way. You think you hate Zack Snyder, but you really don't. So we're going to get to that in just a second. So hold on, I'm not done. All right. Superman hit with the soda can in the back of the head. Now they mixed two scenes there. They showed one from Man of Steel where he was hit with in the back of the head with the soda can, but then you had the crowd behind him, just like in BVS, screaming and chanting with their signs, "We hate you," all this other kind of stuff. Yep. That was ripped directly from BVS, and him getting hit with the soda can, that was the bully scene in the bar where he was working.
In Man of Steel, yeah.
In Man of Steel. So again, take off the glass, clean your glasses off, and tell me what was different about that scene that was so bad that now it's all of a sudden good. Somebody sound off. Tell me why suddenly it's okay.
All right. I love that the soda can scene when the dude tries to shove him, but he's Superman, but he just stays there. He's like, what just happened?
And then one of the most obvious ones, Superman carrying Lois into the air. They did that in Man of Steel. Right at the beginning of that scene where Jor-El says, "You can save them. You can save all of them." He takes off, shooting after Lois as that pod is coming through the atmosphere on fire. He gets her out of the pod, and slowly they're turning in a circle, landing in the crevice where that rocket blew up, basically, where that pod blew up. They show a scene in Superman, this trailer, where he's just flying up in a circle instead of down with Superman. Mm-hmm. We are not blind. Why are y'all acting like y'all are not watching the same shit we're watching? Why? That's what I want to know. So whoever's a gun fan, come on back. If you're watching this, come on back and sound off in the chat and tell me why those scenes aren't similar. Why suddenly you like that one, but you didn't like Man of Steel?
Here's another thing, dude. So he's making it like no one's done this before. Yeah, well then why is Superman with Lois? Literally every Superman movie is that.
Is with Lois, yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you want to be different, explore a different love interest.
Especially for a Superman who's been around. You know what they're saying, that he's been established. This is a Superman that, he's got other superheroes around him, right? Well, why couldn't you're saying you're a big Superman and Wonder Woman fan, right? Why couldn't Wonder Woman be around him at this time? Let him develop that love interest. Do something different. You know what I mean? No, I totally agree. I think it's interesting just to see how we're just treading old territory all over again.
Mm-hmm. I think
speaking of old territory,
they're conflating real storytelling. They're confusing with real storytelling with what they see on film. On just film. Because you right. So Man of Steel was Man of Steel. See, that's what's confusing you guys, and what you don't understand about how Zack Snyder tells a story versus how everybody else tells a story. And we're going to get more into that. But basically, Man of Steel was not a Superman film.
That's why it wasn't. That's why it wasn't called Superman. It was called Man of Steel for a reason.
Yeah. Zack Snyder literally tells you in the movie that this guy is this is his first time on a job. You know what scene that was? When homie was on the boat and he said, "Greenhorn, fetch me my binoculars." Greenhorn. Remember that scene? Mm-hmm. Right before he see the oil rig shit, all of that blew up, and that guy, and he came in there and he was in the he was on the bridge with the captain, and the captain told him, "Greenhorn." Do y'all know what greenhorn means? It means you are new. It means you're green.
I never thought of that.
That's what greenhorn means. Greenhorn means you are new to the job. You are wet behind the ears. You don't know shit. That's what greenhorn actually means.
That's another reason why I love his movies. They're so deep. There's so much crap in there.
If you actually love storytelling and you're just not oohing and ahhing about what you see on screen, then you would know that.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. Even a scene in like the Army of the Dead sequel where he goes, in order to like understand art, you have to engage with it.
Mm. Yeah,
exactly.
So, Man of Steel, you cannot fairly make a comparison to a Superman film, because even though this is James Gunn's first Superman film, it is an established Superman who supposedly is already in a world that has hope and all this other kind of stuff. Now, here's the problem. You guys are taking Man of Steel and you think that that's an actual Superman film when it is not. He is not Superman. Nobody's calling it. He is not that. They even blur it out.
The name didn't even happen until the very end of the movie.
And if you notice, in the second movie, that's when Superman appears in the title when he's a little established.
Because if I remember correctly, Lois tried to say it, but then it got cut off.
They completely cut that out.
It wasn't until the very end when they were talking to the general that she said, "Oh, I got a crush. He's kind of cute." They're calling him Superman or something like that.
Yeah. What's up, Phil?
Yeah, guys. So we have someone here that I'm going to highlight that I think deserves a response.
All right, Matthew. Okay, man.
Based on what?
Snyder is a hack and doesn't it? Okay, now, so Matthew Day. So give me an example of not understanding the source material.
And why is he a hack?
Give me an example. So you decided you want to jump on here. Snyder is a hack is not a criticism, bro. You got to do better than that. So do better than that. If you know what storytelling is and you know how to tell a story, tell me how he's a hack. Because you don't understand Man of Steel, just admit that.
It'll be crickets. We won't get a response.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
because I can tell you, I can break Man of Steel down for you and tell you the elements of that story and how he's not a hack and what he was actually going toward. If you want to listen,
go deep, Charles.
But they don't.
Actually, Charles, do you want me to play that video? It's ready.
Play it.
Shoot me! Basically, my screenplay was done by the time Zack came around, and there was some tooling after that. So I got to work with Zack. I liked Zack a lot as a guy, and he was an incredibly thorough. He did all his own storyboards and stuff, which I think influenced me when I went on to my movies and do the same thing. And I saw how incredibly prepared he was. I thought it was great.